Hi, I'm STS-131 Commander Alan Poindexter, and you're watching NASA TV.
This is Shuttle Launch Control. We are now in the crew quarters at the Operations Checkout Building. Commander Alan Poindexter. It's pilot Jim Dutton. Mission Specialist 1, Rick Mastracchio. Clay Anderson. Mission Specialist number 5. Mission Specialist number 3, Stephanie Wilson. And our Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut, Naoko Yamazaki. And there's Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger. Space Shuttle Discovery stands illuminated by xenon light, ready for a launch at 6:21 a.m. Eastern Time. And we see the space station traveling over the Kennedy Space Center on NASA television. It just passed the moon. A bright dot in the sky. T-minus 15 seconds and the sound suppression water system has been activated. We have a go for main engine start. 3 engines up and ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, blazing a trail to scientific discoveries aboard Space Station.
Houston, Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Control Houston, Space Shuttle Discovery is rolling into a heads-down position, putting it on course for 51.6 degree, 136 by 36 statute-line orbit, and eventually the International Space Station. Discovery's 3 liquid-fueled main engines are now throttling down to reduce stress on the shuttle as it travels through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Discovery is already at an altitude of 4.7 miles or 26,500 feet, and traveling.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Roger, go at throttle up.
Traveling 1,000 miles per hour, Discovery's engines are now throttled back up and performing at full capability. The booster officer in the Mission Control Center has confirmed solid rocket booster separation. All systems continuing to function well. The booster officer here in Mission Control is reporting that Discovery's 3 main engines have been shut off. Now waiting for external tank separation.
Discovery, Houston, nominal MECO, OHMS 1 is not required.
Nominal MECO, OHMS 1 not required.
And there is the external tank separation. 8 minutes and 53 seconds into the STS-130 mission. Discovery now safely in orbit, 66 miles above the Earth, and traveling at 17,500 miles per hour. Sequential still video view of the starboard wing leading edge of Discovery. Wing leading edges and nose caps are the focus of today's inspections because they experience the hottest temperatures when the shuttle drops back into the Earth's atmosphere for landing. Those temperatures get as high as 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Normally, this survey would be downlinked to the ground in real time for the imagery experts to begin their analysis. However, without the KU band antenna, the crew is going to wait until they arrive at the International Space Station to downlink that imagery.
Houston, Discovery, we're complete, and the arm is back in pre-cradle.
Station Discovery initiating RPM in 3, 2, 1, mark. Discovery Station, we got the great RPM shot. You guys looking beautiful. As are you guys, Suichi, thanks. Houston and station, capture confirmed.
Houston copies.
Discovery copies, free drift. Glad you're here, thanks.
Discovery station free drift confirmed.
Discovery arriving.
Space Shuttle Discovery's crew coming through the hatch at 4:11 a.m. Central Time. While the shuttle and station are traveling 217 miles above the Pacific Ocean, heading towards the coast of Central America. Pilot Jim Dutton just passing through the view there, followed by Mission Specialist Rick Mastracchio and Mission Specialist Clay Anderson coming through the hatch now. As you can see, the space station's robotic arms moved in now and has a grip on the multi-purpose logistics module inside the space shuttle's cargo bay. Mission Specialist Stephanie Wilson and Naoko Yamazaki working at the robotics workstation inside the station's Destiny laboratory to control the 57-foot long robotic arm to lift that 13.6 ton temporary module out of the shuttle's cargo bay. That module is 21 feet long and 15 feet wide and weighs a total right now of more than 13 tons. 6 tons of that is cargo that the module is carrying up inside. It basically works as a moving van.
See, the hatches are open between the Leonardo multi-purpose logistics module and the Harmony node. The crew getting to work down inside the MPLM. You can see all the cargo inside. As we've been mentioning, there's more than 12,000 pounds of cargo and supplies and equipment inside Leonardo. All of that has to be moved out of it and across that hatchway that you see there.
Houston, Munich down to the Scuba Moscow. Shuttle evening payload bay. you know, I had to move actually very, very slow because that FGB is quite bulky. But it took a little while, but I got there. Yeah, Rick and Clay did a great job outside all day, and we've got a couple of different clips of them around the space station doing the great work they did, and with the great teamwork all day by all parties involved, the ground and the both flight crews. We just had a terrific day. Clay's here too, and up on the APFR. One of our big tasks on the EVA was to move the ammonia tank assembly, and part of that required Rick and I to go to the payload bay and prepare that to be removed, and that's what you're seeing right here. Clay's on the left and Rick's on the right, and I'm in a foot restraint so that I can hold this 1,800-pound thing when Rick helps me lift it off, and we're going to hand it to the arm operators. And of course, Dottie was wonderful today. She's just our quarterback inside the shuttle and tells us what to do, and of course, she's a former teacher, so we do exactly what she tells us, otherwise she might wrap our hands with a ruler. So one of the big teamwork things today was between the robotics team and the EVA team, and here you see Steph and Jim flying the arm, and it's really incredible. Stephanie did a fantastic job grappling a moving target.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to work with Clay and Rick today, and with Jim. They had a little bit of trouble getting the tank unbolted, but were able to overcome that with their hard work. And Clay was holding it up for us nice and steady as she goes, and we were able to fly it in and get a good grapple. And towards the end of this spacewalk, we were stowing the ammonia tank onto the POA, the Payload Accommodations ORU, as a temporary location. And we'll pick up with it in our second DVA.
This is Jim. I think the high point for me today was when Stephanie and I had a few pause points during our robotics, and we had a chance to take turns sneaking away from the robotics station down into the cupola and take a look at the arm and its different configurations, just 10, 20 feet out from the windows, the incredible views of the Earth going by behind with sunsets and different land masses passing. It was phenomenal. So never forget those images in my mind.
We also had a team inside really busy at work in the MPLM, and we were able to get 5 of our 7 racks transferred today. And Naoko did just a wonderful job. She worked with all of us occasionally, and a lot with Suichi today, moving most of the MPLM out and into the various locations around the space station, and moving a lot of the return supply back into place. Then here's the views in the MPLM, and here's Suichi and Naoko, and they're working on moving another rack and getting some more of the equipment out. Yeah, this is the Mars rack, which is a muscle atrophy resistance rack, science rack, and it goes in the Columbus module. And again, this is a full-size rack, about the size of a large household refrigerator, and it moves through the hatches very easily. But again, it has a lot of mass, so once you get it moving, it's quite difficult to stop. So we have to be careful not to hit anything. And we come out of the MPLM and turn it 90 degrees and into the Columbus module.
Yeah, it was very fun to see Naoko working with the transfer, and also Suichi and the help of the station crew. Oleg helped us for a while today, and Dottie and Jim and Dex were also involved in transfer. So we were able to transfer these racks, get some of the pre-packs that the space station crew has worked hard to pack for us into the MPLM, and we have also started to offload some of the resupply. So it's a great team, and we are enjoying the MPLM. It's a great volume. There's already been some bungee jumping and some flips in the MPLM, so I'm sure that will continue.
One of the things that's important to understand about all this transfer is the amount of work that went on the ground prior to the mission to, it's like one of those games we all used to play as kids where you had to move all the squares and look for open holes, and it's very choreographed.
in that we have to move one thing, slide something over, move something up, and pull something back down to get out the piece that we want and then be able to transfer it. So a lot of thanks goes out to all the guys and gals on the ground that put so many hours together to make this very choreographed plan that we just go up and execute, and the fact that we're way ahead of this transfer timeline is a testimony to their great work.
Again, I guess can't say it enough. What great teamwork that we saw all day today, all around the space station and shuttle complex on the ground. We just got a tremendous amount of work done, and it's just phenomenal to see this team in action. Really, really amazing.
Yeah, after a hard day's work, it was nice to be able to greet Rick and Clay as they were coming inside. Handshakes and hugs all around for the fantastic job that they did, and Dottie also orchestrating the spacewalk and leading them through, setting up the tools. It was just nice to see it all come together.
We started off the morning of flight day 6 doing some water ops, and this is me down on the mid deck in front of the galley, filling up a CWC bag and inserting some silver biocide into it. This is technical water that's used over on the station. And just after that, Jim and Donnie were up on the flight deck.
And there's never a dull moment on a shuttle flight, and so Jim and I are wearing our T-shirts this morning because we basically got up and had this procedure to fly, and then we were going to exercise afterwards. But you can see this procedure, it had some fairly close clearances with the GEM module, but all of it could be viewed basically out of the commander's window. It was awesome. And this is Clay and me transporting another rack today. And today we transferred 2 racks into the space station. This is WOLF, the Earth Observatory rack, which goes into the UX laboratory. It enhances the Earth observation capability a lot with remote sensing capability and a remote control of the WOLF, the window and the camera and video cameras. As you see, the rack is so big, it just fits the hatch. So we have to be very careful. We didn't hit any hatch shields or structures, so we moved very slow and steady. And this is another teamwork. 2 or 3 crew members worked together to transfer the WOLF rack and another Express Rack 7 today.
I was actually behind Naoko waiting to get through the lab when this was going on, watching her do it. Now, several of us have commented that Naoko and Soichi doing these transfer ops, that they're like fish in water. They move so gracefully with these huge racks that weigh hundreds of pounds. So it's one of those things where if you get it moving in the wrong direction, it's really hard to stop it, and they've just done a great job.
And most of our day, all of us were at some point doing transfer, which is a lot like moving, and we talked a little bit about yesterday how it's kind of like a game where you have to move some things out of the station to make room for things coming out of the multi-purpose logistics module. And today we are really putting that dance into play. And when you go into the multi-purpose logistics module, it is very empty. And now we have the hard task of filling it back up. So now we're going and finding a whole bunch of bags and trying to figure out where they go. And as you can see, that's a lot of teamwork, and what a great team.
A little after Dottie and I did the PDRS work, got a chance to go over and work on the ARED, the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device. You can see here doing squats. It's really effective, and it feels good to put some weight on the legs.
ARED's a great machine, and here's Jim racking the bar in the upper position, and yeah, you can see where it just floats. This is Rick in the airlock preparing for our EVA-2 tomorrow. He and Clay spent a lot of time today preparing tools and getting the suits ready to go and checking out all the systems and making sure that everything's ready to go for tomorrow's long EVA. This is a picture of the tool setup in the crew lock portion of the International Space Station airlock. There's just some more exercise on the ARED.
The ARED is actually in front of, next to the cupola module. So while exercising, we can enjoy the view of the Earth through the cupola window, and it is fantastic.
Working out in space is actually a lot of fun. I'm checking all the tools that are going to go outside tomorrow for the EVA, making sure that the guys have every single thing that they need and that everything is tethered.
Hey, Houston, we did a lot of transfer today, and everybody was really busy. We got a lot done today, and we're really happy to share just a few moments of what we did with you. Thanks to everybody on the ground for all the hard work, preparation for this flight. We're just having a terrific time. We started the morning in the airlock. This is Trace Caldwell and Jim Dutton helping Rick and Clay get into their suits and get into the airlock. And here's TJ getting our safers ready. TJ was also a great help today. And of course, Dottie, she loaded us up with tools and put us to work as soon as we got out the door. These safers are backpacks that are donning right now on the spacesuit, and those allow us that if we were to fall off in some strange event, we could fly back. And the way they put us into the airlock after they put the safers on is the first person to go out the door goes in head first, and the second person goes in feet first. And then we spend a little bit of time as we wait for the pressure to go down and to be ready to open the hatch. We fiddle with our tools and we just try to get comfortable and relax a little bit before we head outside to do our EVA. And you see how many people it takes to stuff us all in there. A lot of work and effort and pre-planning goes into EVAs also. This is Stephanie and Naoko in the MPLM. And they're doing simultaneous operations, trying to do a lot of resupply and return supply work. And really, really busy. Today was just a stellar example of great teamwork. We had Stephanie and Jim on the arm, Rick and Clay outside, Dottie on the flight deck running the whole show, and with lots of communication, lots of practice, lots of teamwork, and a lot of help from the ground, with a lot of great planning and a year of training. They were able to execute the plan really well. This is on the CETA cart on the truss of the space station, and CETA is a crew equipment translation aid, and they were preparing this CETA cart as a temporary storage place for the ammonia tank that was going to come out of the truss on the back side. And they just handed that tank off to Stephanie and Jim on the arm, and then the old tank was going to be placed temporarily on this CETA cart while they took the new tank and took it off of the payload attach mechanism on the mobile base system and took it across and placed it in a truss. One of the things that was interesting today and unique for both Rick and I was the fact that we were on the back side of the truss a lot for the station, and we found that the extremes of hot temperature and cold temperature were quite pronounced compared to our previous EVAs. I'm sure we'll be able to find out exactly why that is. We have an idea, but we'll see.
This is a view inside the laboratory module at the robotics workstation. Jim and I were hard at work flying the arm and trying to do our best to keep it steady as we were either going over the pin or coming off of the pin for Rick and Clay, and they were holding it steady for us.
And there's always, of course, time for a little camaraderie and meal. And this is back in the Russian segment in the service module, and we have 3 Russian cosmonauts on board. And there you have Suichi, Oleg Kotov, TJ Kramer, Naoko, Michelle Kornienko, Alexander Skvorchkov. This is Naoko Yamazaki, who is an absolute machine when it comes to transfer. And today she's right there installing the glacier into the lab rack. And these are large freezers that we brought up, and she installed one of those today. This is Naoko again inside the MPLM, and you can see that it's chock full of resupply racks and storage bags, and Naoko's having a great time doing it. She's really a pro at it.
Today, one of the things on our timeline was to transfer temporary sleep station. This is sort of the early version of crew quarters, and we brought up a crew quarters in our logistics module. The advanced version of the crew quarters has comms, so you can hear caution and warning tones. It's noise insulated. It has computer access, so it's much more comfortable than the early version. So we're packing up the earlier version and taking it home with us in the MPLM.
Guys, have a great time out there. Last EVA of the flight. And Dottie, we'll hand over to you.
Well, it's a beautiful day to go EVA. It's obviously, you can see it's light outside, and I'll start you through these steps here.
Copy.
There you go. Now look over here. Oh, baby. You're going to want to take this one to the grandkids.
All right. Get some work here, though. Get this, baby. All right, Clay, do the honors.
Okay, start heading the pumpers. You got good clearance.
Copy that. We're starting motion station aft.
Mission Specialist Stephanie Wilson and pilot Jim Dutton moving the ammonia tank assembly in towards the external stowage platform to give the 2 spacewalkers access to the handle that they'll be removing.
Good motion. Continue.
Keep it coming.
Both spacewalkers and the old ammonia tank assembly now on their way to the shuttle's cargo bay. Good view of the old ammonia tank assembly in motion on its way to the shuttle's cargo bay. Both spacewalkers now in place. They're getting ready to receive that ammonia tank assembly.
Good motion.
Good motion.
Okay, stop the into the payload bay motion.
Okay, we'll stop into the payload bay. We'll continue to starboard.
This is Naoko early in the day, up and at 'em in the MPLM.
Yes, we have today and tomorrow, and then we will close the MPLM hatch. So we were very busy to reconfigure the MPLM for return. So lots of piece of forms we have to reconfigure for return, which is different location from the resupply. So we are working very hard to pack everything.
We shot a couple shots of video so people could see what these racks look like. That's a resupply rack. It has different stowage volumes for different bags. This is a resupply platform, an RSP we call it, with different sized bags, and there are several of those along each side, and they can also rotate. You can see one in the background there that's rotated out of the way so we can get behind it because there are bags behind it as well. Anyway, MPLM looks great now. This was first thing in the morning, and now it's much, much better than that.
This is Node 1, and we are waiting outside the airlock for it to open. Right now, Tracy and Jim are prepping Rick and Clay for EVA 3, and pretty soon they'll come out of the, come out, we'll be able to get tools on and get them all ready, put their safer packs on, and then get them into the airlock. So TJ and I are waiting, and here you go, the hatch is opening.
That's Jim coming out, and Rick and I spend the night, so we camp out for the spacewalks, and that's to pre-breathe oxygen and help get the nitrogen out of our system so we won't get the bends in any of our spacewalks.
Yeah, we get a lot of good training at Johnson Space Center, and Jim was noting today that though he and I hadn't trained together on the ground, it seemed that our training was put to good work, good use inside the airlock.
Well, the robotics went really well again today. We got to go in and release the tank to Clay in the back of the payload bay before he and Rick bolted it down. And Stephanie did a great job of releasing that and getting back off the pin. It's pretty dynamic. When the guys are in the suits, they have a very hard time stabilizing in positions where the suit doesn't want to be because of the pressure inside of it. And Clay just did a really good job holding the tank still for us.
This is Oleg Kotov, the commander of the Soyuz and the International Space Station. He's doing some exercises on the new Advanced Resistive Exercise device, and this is Soichi on the bike.
Yeah, I'm doing the serious workout, aerobiking at the speed of 70,000 miles per hour. It was fun, and all the kudos to the Acers. Thank you very much.
There's Naoko and I, Tracy in the MPLM, and a great nose shot of Dottie Metcalf Honeyburger.
This is one of the interesting things about being in space is that you can use the windows in new and inventive ways, and to look back at the station truss assembly from the pilot's window, you have to kind of get on your back and put your face up in the window, and it's really a beautiful view. This is the Gulf of Aden and the mouth of the Red Sea and the east coast of Africa. It's absolutely stunning contrast between the reds and browns of the sands and the bright blue waters. Really stunning views, and you can see the high contrast that you get there with the Earth limb, and there's a shuttle KU antenna in view as well. My job is to just watch everybody, and I was helping Dottie out with photo TV requirements and helping keep track of all the small tasks that need to go on, and delivering food and coffee to those that wanted it. We've got such a hard-working team up here. They use me as a runner and to do the miscellaneous tasks that everybody else can't get done because they're so busy doing the important work.
And sometimes you just have to make things fit, and as you can see here, Naoko is getting all the foam and bags into place. It was a real team effort to get everything locked down. And there she is being Superwoman with Stephanie. Sometimes the cameraman just needs to watch out. But you can see floating in space is a lot of fun, and if you make your work fun, then it's no problem to do it. And I think that all of us could say, no matter how tedious tying foam down may be, it's really fun because you're floating. All I can say is that the STS-131 crew knows how to make foam fun.
Mission Specialist Naoko Yamazaki here, floating out of the multi-purpose logistics module. She's been one of the crew members in charge of the transfer of items to and from that module, getting it ready now to be buttoned up and close the hatches between the two, between the module and the rest of the station, so that it can be moved today by the space station's robotic arm and installed back inside the shuttle's cargo bay for return to home. Flight Engineer Soichi Noguchi with Commander Alan Poindexter and Mission Specialist Clay Anderson closing that hatch on the Leonardo Multipurpose Logistics Module. This will not be Leonardo's last visit to the station. It will be coming back up on the STS-133 mission to remain permanently at the station at that point. Be able then to act as a storage room for the space station.
Houston Station on the big loop, the hatch is closed.
Copy, closed hatch. Thank you.
Okay, RMS operator from CBM operator, go for RMS to maneuver element.
SSRMS operator copies. Go to maneuver element.
This is Mission Control Houston, just to confirm the 4 latches that were holding the Leonardo Multipurpose Logistics Module onto the station have been retracted. Leonardo is now under the control of the station's robotic arm, which is being flown by Stephanie Wilson, as well as Naoko Yamazaki, the 2 STS-131 mission specialists. The robotics officer here in Mission Control confirming that Leonardo is being moved toward Discovery's payload bay.
Houston Station on the big loop for timeline. We're with you. Mark, real successful teammate there, and we're got it at low hover, and after all the troubleshooting today, and looking around at some tired faces, what do you guys say we call it a night and sleep in a little bit tomorrow, an hour or so, and then get going on this first thing in the morning?
A great job on both the station and the Discovery team. On the ground, station team and shuttle team are in agreement to pause at this point in low hover. For tomorrow, we'll pick up in the MPLM activities about a 1 hour and 5 minute arm ops, followed by the dock late inspection. As you mentioned, you can sleep in 1 hour or as late as 1.5 hours, your choice. Just let us know. Once again, congratulations to the whole team.
Congratulations to all the teams in Houston. You guys did all the hard work today, and we're just real happy that CBM worked as advertised, that you were able to work through your troubleshooting procedures. We'll take you up on your offer to sleep in 1 hour early. Aki will set up our wake-up timer for 1900. How's that sound?
Copy 1900 for the wake-up time. We just need safing on the arm and standard pre-sleep.
Robotics Workstation Discovery, all the pros are ready.
Robotics Workstation copies.
The space station's robotic arm is now in motion, getting ready to pack the Leonardo Multipurpose Logistics Module into the shuttle's cargo bay for return to Earth. Arms being controlled from the station's Destiny Laboratory robotic workstation by Mission Specialist Stephanie Wilson and Naoko Yamazaki.
Discovery recording is on.
Discovery Houston copies.
Getting a view we don't normally get to see of the inspection of the shuttle's heat shield. It's being performed before the shuttle undocks due to the fact that the shuttle's own KU band antenna is not working this mission, so they're taking advantage of the station's KU band antenna, which allows them to send large packets of information down to the ground and also video. And that's necessary to get the information from the heat shield inspection down to the experts on the ground to then study it for any sign that Discovery's heat shield might have been damaged while it's been in orbit.
We started off flight day 12 with some International Space Station robotics operations to put the MPLM back in the payload bay of Discovery.
On the previous day, we unversed MPLM from the space station when we kept the MPLM at the low hover position, and on flight day 12, we versed MPLM into the shuttle's payload bay. So Stephanie and I made a pair and to do the unverse and the berthing into the payload bay. So this is a robotics working station in the U.S. laboratory. And the clearance between the MPLM structure and the payload bay still is very tight, only a couple of inches. So Stephanie made a great job to, steady control the hand controls, and slowly and steadily we berth the MPLM into the payload bay. And while they were putting the MPLM into the payload bay, then Jim and Dex and I put the perlas on, which latches the MPLM firmly into the payload bay. Later, we spent the whole morning doing our final thermal protection system scan, and this was our starboard side, which had the most tight clearances, and it also took the longest.
Well, this is our first time executing the dock late inspection as a team, and it went really well thanks to the larger team that helped us to prepare. It was pretty impressive to see some of the clearances, which got down to as low as 19 inches for the shuttle arm to the gem structure. But we had some great clearance views thanks to the SPDM and the tip lee that were able to keep it clear. We had Dex down in the cupola a lot of the time helping us out, and it went really well.
And thanks to the combined work of the robotics teams and the photo TV teams and the folks who PV'd the procedure, the operations went very well and very smoothly. We were able to finish on time. And here's a view from the middeck. This is how we actually get between the middeck and the flight deck. Since we were finished early, we had some time to spend with our friends, and the International Space Station crew also came over, so we had some time to share with them. So this is just a little bit of downtime while we're on the middeck. And we have a cycloergometer, so a few of us had a chance to exercise, and very important to keep our bones and cardiovascular systems fit.
This is Clay goofing off with Dottie, and we're playing a little bit with the conservation of angular momentum, and you see that as she pulls herself in tighter, she spins faster, and then when she spreads out, she slows down. It's just a great opportunity. You really can't do this in the classroom on Earth, so we do it in our classroom in space.
And I think I'm getting ready for the Olympics. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go for. Winter, I got the ice skating earlier, and looks like I may be able to make some sort of gymnastics team in space.
It is great to have the crew get some downtime after a long dock period and lots of hard work, and got the dock late inspection done early, and again, we got to have some downtime. Again, these are some more middeck shots, and this is some activity that happens late in the day every day, and we end up doing a transfer brief with the transfer team. One of the great things we get to do with our International Space Station comrades here is to have dinner with them every once in a while. I think this was the third major meal that we shared with them, and it's probably the last big one we'll before undock. So we have all the Russian cosmonauts, and of course Suichi, TJ, and Tracy, and all of us gather around their dinner table in Node 1 for a big meal, and it's great to swap stories and to swap different foods.
Last night we also got to do something that's a tradition now for every shuttle flight. We got to put our mission patch onto one of the panels in Node 1, and we all got our pictures taken by it, and also added our patch to the airlock and signed it, as is the tradition. So it was a lot of fun to be able to be a part of that. Here is Dex putting the sticker on the Node 1 wall.
And I tell you, Oleg Kotov, the commander of the space station, is just a wonderful guy and a great partner and a wonderful friend. And they were very gracious hosts to have 7 of us stumbling around in their house for the last 7 or 8 days. They've just been wonderful folks and have helped us out with everything.
And again, this is time when we have to say goodbye to our friends and colleagues. It's an excellent crew. Shuttle Discovery flight 19A, which did excellent job. We enjoy working with them, and really, really sad to let them go, but it's time. And again, let me say again, thank you very much. We're really grateful for your help and your job you did for us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Alec. This has been just a wonderful stay for the Shuttle Discovery crew. We've had a very successful docked mission, and that is in large part due to the preparation that you and your crew did ahead of time. The pre-pack was amazing. We were able to come in, and you treated us just with the utmost hospitality, and we felt welcome the whole time. We hope we didn't tear up your house too much. We tried to do a good job of cleaning when we left. If we leave anything behind, you can bring it with you at home. But no, it was a great dock mission and very successful. And we had three just outstanding EVAs and a lot of great robotics. And the transfer team was just fantastic. And again, I wanted to thank you and your crew for all the help you gave us with transfer. I think Suichi spent about half his time in the MPLM packing bags and helping us unpack. So it was just great, and we're sorry to go. And I know we'd all like to stay much longer, but we have to let you guys get back to your normal routine and get ready for ULF-4. So with that, we want to say thanks again, and we hope to see you soon back home.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Houston and Station Discovery, physical separation.
Houston copies.
Station copies. Discovery departing.
Another sequential still video view of the International Space Station. Good view of Discovery here, still 73 miles away from Kennedy Space Center and 15 miles up, traveling 1,700 miles per hour.
Discovery Houston, you are on energy approaching the hack. No changes to winds and weather. Go for nominal shoot deploy.
And Commander Alan Poindexter is now at the controls of Space Shuttle Discovery. Sonic booms announcing Discovery's arrival. It's now just 68 miles away from Kennedy Space Center, 27,000 feet in altitude and traveling 530 miles per hour.
Discovery on at the 180.
On at the 180. Houston Discovery, runway in sight.
Roger.
Less than a minute and a half until touchdown. Discovery is now descending at a rate 20 times higher and 7 times steeper than what a commercial airline would experience on its final approach. One minute now until touchdown. Discovery's landing gear will be locked down and into place at 300 feet in altitude. It's currently 3,500 feet and traveling at a rate of 370 miles per hour. Seconds until touchdown. Main gear, landing gear now down and locked. Main gear touchdown. Pilot Jim Dutton now deploying the drag chute. Nose gear touchdown. That brings an end to the STS-131 mission, the 131st Space Shuttle flight, and the 33rd to the International Space Station. Discovery left Florida on April 5th with 7.6 tons of new science equipment and spare parts, including equipment that should improve the station's capability for Earth observation work, equipment that could help astronauts avoid muscle atrophy and scientists better understand muscle atrophy, and equipment that will help keep the station systems cooling properly. Discovery brings home with it the last large return load from the station, 2 tons of used equipment.
Roger, wheel stop Discovery, welcome home. Dex, congratulations to you and the crew on an outstanding mission. There are no immediate post-landing deltas. We'll meet you on page 5-3 of the entry checklist.
Houston Discovery, thanks for those words, CJ. It was a great mission. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed working with you and all the teams in mission control. And we're glad that the International Space Station is stocked up again. Thanks a lot.
Here come our STS-131 astronauts, being greeted by Lori Garver, KSP Director Bob Cabana, greeting our commander, and the director of the Japanese Space Agency, JAXA. There's astronaut Rick Mastracchio, Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger, Stephanie Wilson,
Good morning. It's great to be back at the Kennedy Space Center with Discovery. It was a beautiful entry this morning. We've got the bonus of coming over the entire United States, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. The entire entry track took us over the Rockies and over the Midwest and across the Mississippi Delta, and it was just a fantastic entry. The landing back here at Kennedy Space Center was really nice. It's a beautiful day, and it was a great mission, and we're just happy to be back here in Florida with Discovery. I'm going to let the rest of the crew come up and say just a few words, but thanks to everybody for all of their support, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, it was just an incredible mission from start to finish. The launch, having a orbital sunrise during our ascent into orbit, it was incredible. We had our share of challenges up there, but the larger team just did an incredible job supporting us, and we owe them greatly for all they did for us. So to them, our thanks.
Well, thanks for being here. We had a great mission, like Jim and Dex said. We had our challenges. We had our EVA challenges where some of the hardware gave us a little bit of trouble, but I think we got all the big tasks done, and we're very happy with everything. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dottie Metcalf, Lindenberger, MS2 for the flight, and what an incredible morning to be out here. I can't believe that a few days ago we were looking down on this part of the United States, and it was just so beautiful. And I want to say thanks to all of the people that made this possible, and we hope that we've made the International Space Station ready for future exploration. And I just, again, want to say thank you, and it's great to be back on Earth.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Wilson, and it's been an incredible journey. We had a great time. It was a wonderful mission. We enjoyed our time at the International Space Station. We were able to complete all of the mission objectives, and so we're very grateful to all of the teams across our NASA and International Partner Centers, especially Johnson Space Center and the Kennedy Space Center. Thanks so much for readying Discovery for us and making her such a wonderful bird. Folks here work very hard, and we're just very thankful to all of the teams that made this mission possible. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Naoko Yamazaki, Mission Specialist of STS-131. It is such a great pleasure to be able to work with thousands and millions of people during the mission and during the preparation period. And I'm so glad we could come back home safe. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. そして日本の皆さん、応援してくださって本当にどうもありがとうございました。こうして無事にミッションを達成して戻ってくることができて本当に嬉しく思います。本当に美しい地球にこうしてまた地球の自然を感じることができてとても嬉しく思います。本当にお世話になった皆様に感謝を申し上げたいと思います。Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Clayton Anderson, and I was MS5 on this flight and EV2, and was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to go outside 3 times. We had a lot of adversity, but we overcame it all with some great teamwork. It's been a wonderful experience for me. I've had 2 homecomings this flight. I got to go home to the International Space Station, and now I get to come home to KSC. And to all of you who helped get us up and bring us back, thank you so very much. God bless America.
And the crew now will pause for brief moments for pictures, and then they will board the Astrovan, the astronaut transfer van, to go back to the astronaut quarters. Crew quarters where they will have a more thorough physical examination, have a debriefing, meet with their families, and have some lunch.